This changes everything for the Rams. A new report shows just how the Rams can improve their defensive line as well as a receiver and quarterback duo having strong words for each other heading into this 2025 NFL season. All that and more on this episode of Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Finehirsh. Welcome back, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Set them to all so that you do not miss any daily new Rams Digest videos coming at you, covering all things Rams. We are on the road to 4,000 subscribers by training camp, July 25th, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so that we can hit our goal. And now to our main story of today. The Rams have been in reports to be rumored to be trading for a star defensive lineman who may want out of his current situation, and this first story is brought to us by The Sporting News, and that player is TJ Watt. Can you believe that? As we're going to head into that right now. The Los Angeles Rams boast one of the NFL's most potent defensive lines, but a blockbuster trade proposal would take the unit to another level. USA Today's Jacob Kamenker lists the Rams as a potential landing spot for disgruntled Pittsburgh Steelers edge rusher TJ Watt, who has been involved in trade rumors over the last few days. So for those of you who don't know, TJ Watt is currently holding out for a new contract. He's on the final year of his deal with a $21 million base salary, with a $7.1 million signing bonus and a $30 million cap hit. So TJ Watt wants more money from the Steelers to potentially end his career there if they give him a 5-year deal, because he is 30, going on his age 31 year, and TJ Watt has been so dominant over these last 5-6 seasons that he's turned into one of the best edge rushers really of the 21st century, if you really think about it. He has been so awesome for them, and he's really lived up to that Watt name. Both him and JJ just being awesome players, awesome people. So this would be huge if the Rams were able to potentially land him in a move. And the Rams don't need Watt, as the team's pass rush is already formidable. And they also have a budding star in edge rusher Jared Verse, who is ready to take the next step this season after winning Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2024. Though Watt would be more of a luxury for Los Angeles, General Manager Les Snead should try to acquire the 7-time Pro Bowler if he lands on the market. Oh yeah, 100% you try to do this. I don't care. If we already had a Myles Garrett level player or a Micah Parsons level player, yeah, I would say, we don't necessarily have to go after a TJ Watt. But we don't know what Jared Verse is going to be. He looks great. All the peripherals look amazing, and I have no reason to believe why he won't improve coming into year 2. But why not get a guy like TJ Watt in there who can be that number one, that 15-sack-year guy? Because with Jared Verse, I've said before, I don't believe anyone on this team is getting above 12 sacks. And it's not because they're bad. It's just I think you can't double anybody, and everyone's going to be single-teamed, making it easier for everybody to be able to get to the quarterback. But with TJ Watt, he would draw double teams as well, kind of like what Aaron Donald did for some of the younger pass rushers later on in his career, so that they would be able to get theirs as well, but we still had him 1A. Whereas that would also help out with the secondary issues, because for the secondary, obviously, it's not as great of a unit as the front seven is, and that would allow the secondary more time to get into their coverages, give them more time to adjust with an even more elite defensive line, as we actually do have a quote from the author of this article as well to get into, and we're going to get that right now. Les Snead has never been afraid to trade draft picks for proven players, and Matthew Stafford is entering his age 37 season. That should put Watt firmly on Los Angeles' radar. Kamenker wrote, this is from USA Today writer, the author of this article, Jacob Kamenker, and I totally agree. We have seen the Rams not be afraid ever to trade their draft picks for bigger players, big stars, so why not do it again? Again, Stafford, as they've smartly pointed out, is heading into his age 37 season, so it does make sense for them to do this. Watt, who is entering the final year of his deal in Pittsburgh in 2025, is unhappy with his current contract situation in Pittsburgh, is still a prolific pass rusher who has led the league in sacks 3 times and posted 6 double-digit sack campaigns. Yes, Watt, as well as a 4-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, and he is also a 2021 Defensive Player of the Year, which is so key for the Rams. Getting someone who's won that award, someone who's led the league in sacks. He's that guy, that alpha. He's got that dog in him who's able to lead this team. And comment down below right now, what do you think of this potential trade idea for the Rams, and what would they have to give up? And stay tuned for a little bit later, where I will give my answer on whether I think this is worth it and what the Rams should give up. Pairing the 30-year-old Watt with Verse, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, and Byron Young would give the Los Angeles Rams the best defensive line in recent memory. Oh yeah. Los Angeles has a ton of draft picks and cap space in the future. They have the resources to trade for Watt and give him an extension, but we still find it hard to believe that future Hall of Famer Watt will be anywhere but with the Steelers for 2026 and in the years to come. I do agree. I don't see a trade as being imminent unless if he really, really keeps on holding out into the regular season, which I don't believe he does. The two Steelers we've seen do that, two of the killer bees, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, their careers, although not necessarily fully for on-the-field reasons, but their careers didn't really turn out the best after leaving. But TJ Watt is a different beast. He's only focused on football, and so he'll be able to have a better end if he does leave Pittsburgh. And for the Rams, they're going to have to sweeten this deal. You saw what the Dolphins got for Jalen Ramsey. Imagine what the Steelers are going to get for TJ Watt, who is for sure, at worst, a top 4 edge rusher in this league. Most likely in their top 2, top 3, and so definitely the Rams are going to have to sweeten up this deal if they want a good deal to happen. And though negotiations don't look great right now, Watt and Pittsburgh will likely eventually come to terms on a long-term deal to keep him in the Steel City for the next few years. However, if the Steelers somehow can't sign Watt and decide to trade him, the Rams would be an ideal landing spot for the multiple-time All-Pro. Yes, I fully agree. He would fit in so well on this Rams defense. And TJ Watt would fit on any defense, but he fits so well with the Rams. And now, for some TJ Watt stats last season, a bit of a down year: 11 sacks, 61 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 27 quarterback hits, 6 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. But again, that down year is like a top year for a lot of other players in the NFL. I see Watt coming right back. He did play through a couple injuries last year as well. So if you're the Rams, what are you going to give up for TJ Watt, right? This is what everyone has been wanting to know. I think you have to start with a first-round pick. You're going to have to give up a first-round pick. I know he's going to be 31 by the end of the year, but you need to include a first-round pick to sweeten the deal. First-round pick, you're going to need to part with somebody, some key contributor, maybe an offensive player. Maybe they're going to want a player like Winnington or Tutu Atwell to help out with that receiving core as well. And if you're the Rams, that may be worth it to give up to the Steelers. First-round pick, third-round pick in the future, and then a fifth-round pick probably as well. You're going to need 3 draft picks, potentially even a defensive player. Maybe a young guy like a Josiah Stewart because you don't know what he's going to be yet. You're going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up a lot for TJ Watt. That's what I think. I think it is worth it at the end of the day. As long as the Rams have Matthew Stafford, they need to be thinking about continuing to compete in the Stafford era, and this is a move that can do it, especially with the secondary not being as great. This gives them even more time to get into their routes, and it's going to make it more difficult for opposing quarterbacks to get good passes and good looks off of their plays. And again, comment down below whether you think this is worth it and what you would give up in return for TJ Watt. I think it's worth it. I just said what I would give up. And like this video for some interesting news, because I did not expect to see this at all today, but you never know with Les Snead and the Rams. They didn't want to go all in on Jalen Ramsey, as I understand, but this is a guy that you do go all in for. And now to our second story of the video. We have Davante Adams was at Fanatics Fest recently and had some really, really high praises for Matthew Stafford, even comparing him to a quarterback he once played with. This story is from Rams Wire, and we're going to get into it right now. Davante Adams spent the majority of his career catching passes from Aaron Rodgers, a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. Adams was on the Green Bay Packers when Rodgers won 3 of his 4 MVP awards, including back-to-back in 2020 and 2021. Together, Adams and Rodgers were arguably the best quarterback-receiver tandem in the NFL, putting up eye-popping numbers together in their prime. Yeah, I mean, if you're a new NFL fan and you have not seen highlights of these two, please go watch it, because, oh my god, from like 2018 to 21, I mean, they were putting up crazy, crazy numbers, because Adams, when he first came in, wasn't really a number 1, but after a couple years, he became the number 1, and yeah, they were really good. Didn't do much in the playoffs, though, but that's not, as a team sport, and that's not a knock on either of them, but they both had amazing Packers careers, and now Adams looks to have an amazing Rams career as well. Adams will now have the pleasure of playing alongside Matthew Stafford, and though they've only been teammates for a couple years, Adams sees the similarities between Rodgers and Stafford, and we're not talking about the version of Rodgers who struggled at times last season. Yeah, definitely not the Aaron Rodgers we saw last year or the Aaron Rodgers I expect to see this year with the Steelers. We're talking about prime Aaron Rodgers having some mobility in the pocket, being able to scramble a little bit as well, and being able to make any throw on the football field. And Davante Adams was actually talking to Ryan Clark about this at Fanatics Fest, and we're going to have that quote up for you right now. He told me something that really stood out, Clark said on the Mina Kimes show. He said, I got to play with an older Aaron. He's like Matthew, has that type of stuff still in his arm. And we're talking about the Aaron Rodgers that was able to come back and win 2 MVPs. He's like, Matthew still got it. He's like, that reminds me of that. And he said he also has this level of competitiveness to him that you still see at practice without a-hole to it. And that really sparked my interest from ESPN analyst Ryan Clark. And that's also really important to note, too, about how Matthew Stafford has that competitiveness without being, annoying about it, being too cocky. That he's the leader, but he's at the same time, he's not like, I'm the leader, I'm better than you. No, he's leaning the right way, and that's really important for this Rams team. And this is high praise from Davante Adams, because some people in NFL circles, Josh did a video about this recently, have really been underrating Matthew Stafford. And so, to see someone giving him the respect he deserves, especially on his own team, is really, really good, and it shows Davante Adams is all in on the Rams so far. Stafford and Rodgers are 2 of the oldest players still slinging it in the NFL, and when healthy, both are playing at a high level. And I don't know about Aaron Rodgers playing at a high level anymore, but obviously before the injury, he was still playing at a pretty high level at an old age. Neither is particularly mobile and elusive in the pocket anymore, but they have incredibly strong arms that put zip on the ball effortlessly. Yeah, that they do. Aaron Rodgers, I think part of it was a Jets thing. I think it could be a little bit better, but I don't see too much of an improvement. Whereas with Matthew Stafford, yeah, I think he can have a huge bounce back here stats-wise. Not play-wise, he doesn't have to bounce back, but stat-wise, I think he can have similar stats to what he had in that 2021 season, his first year with the Rams. And comment down below your Matthew Stafford stat predictions right now. I will give mine at the end of this video. When talking about arm talent, Rodgers and Stafford are both in the top tier. Even at this point in their careers, Adams saw it with Rodgers, and he's now seeing it with the Rams quarterback now too. Yeah, definitely. Rodgers had that fire in him when they drafted Jordan Love, and yeah, he came back and won 2 straight MVPs. And Stafford, he doesn't have that fire under him of a young backup just yet, but he has that fire if people are disrespecting him in these quarterback rankings. I don't know how you don't have him as a top 10 quarterback. He's 100% still a top 10 quarterback in this league. Comment that down below as well. Where would you rank Matthew Stafford? I have Matthew Stafford in between 6 and 8 on my rankings of NFL quarterbacks, so let me know on that as well. And as for your Matthew Stafford stat prediction, I've said he's going to throw for 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns. He's going to have a little bit more interceptions with 11 because I think they're going to be throwing a bit more, but he's not going to be like he was in that 2021 season where he did lead the league in picks, although that is a bit of an arbitrary stat. Sometimes receivers drop the ball, but that is not the point. I think 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Comment that down below right now so I can read the comments, respond to comments. I appreciate everyone who comments because a lot of you have been commenting recently, and it really means a lot, and it shows that you're passionate about the Rams, you care about the videos, you're paying attention to the videos, and that means a lot to Josh and I, so we really appreciate that. And that is all for this episode of Rams Digest. Remember, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any daily new Rams Digest videos. Turn those notifications to all so you're notified on each day, every day, when we post, and get us to 4K subscribers by training camp July 25th. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video for this interesting news. And for Clayton Kershaw getting 3,000 strikeouts as well for all you baseball fans out there, because that is set to happen today as I'm recording this. He is 2 away, so make sure to hit that like button for that, as well as the interesting TJ Watt news. Comment down below your thoughts on the TJ Watt potential trade and what you would give up. I think it's worth it. I said you're going to have to give up some sort of key contributor or a young player, plus multiple draft picks, has to include a first. And comment down below your Matthew Stafford stat predictions as well. I have 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I've been your host, Joshua Finehirsh. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Rams Digest. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you soon for another one, and have a great rest of your day.